Life, in all its beauty and complexity, relies on a fundamental process: respiration. At its core, respiration is about energy. It's the process by which living organisms convert energy stored in chemical bonds into usable energy for life. This energy, typically derived from glucose, fuels a myriad of processes, from muscle contraction to brain function. There are two primary types of respiration: aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic respiration, the more efficient of the two, requires oxygen to function. Think of a roaring fire; it needs oxygen to burn brightly. Similarly, our cells primarily use aerobic respiration to generate energy. Anaerobic respiration, on the other hand, occurs in the absence of oxygen. It's a less efficient process, often employed by organisms living in environments where oxygen is scarce. Respiration is a continuous process, essential for survival. Every breath we take, every beat of our hearts, is a testament to the power and importance of this fundamental biological process. Breathing or ventilation is the mechanical process that facilitates respiration. It's the rhythmic flow of air into and out of our lungs. This action is orchestrated by the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. Inspiration is the active phase of breathing. The diaphragm contracts, flattening downwards, while the intercostal muscles pull the ribcage upwards. Expiration is largely a passive process. The diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, returning to their original positions. Breathing ensures a constant supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide. Deep within our lungs lies a labyrinth of microscopic air sacs called alveoli. These delicate structures, resembling tiny balloons, are the sites of gas exchange. Imagine them as bustling marketplaces, where oxygen and carbon dioxide are traded between the respiratory and circulatory systems. As we inhale, oxygen-rich air fills the alveoli. The alveoli are in close contact with a network of tiny blood vessels called capillaries. Oxygen molecules, driven by a difference in concentration, diffuse across the thin walls of the alveoli and into the capillaries. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide, a waste product of cellular respiration, travels in the opposite direction. It diffuses from the capillaries into the alveoli, ready to be expelled from the body with the next exhalation. This elegant exchange of gases ensures a continuous supply of oxygen for the body's energy needs. Once oxygen has crossed into the capillaries, it embarks on a journey throughout the body. The circulatory system, a vast network of arteries, veins, and capillaries, acts like a complex transportation system, ensuring that oxygen reaches every cell. The heart, the tireless pump of the circulatory system, propels oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the body's tissues. Red blood cells, specialized cells within the blood, act as dedicated oxygen carriers. They contain a protein called hemoglobin, which possesses a remarkable affinity for oxygen. Hemoglobin molecules bind to oxygen in the lungs, forming oxyhemoglobin. This oxygen-laden blood travels through arteries, branching into smaller and smaller vessels until it reaches the capillaries that surround every cell in the body. Here, oxygen is released from hemoglobin and diffuses into the cells, ready to fuel the fires of cellular respiration. Section 5. Delivering the essentials. Oxygen reaches its destination. Imagine each cell in our body as a bustling city, teeming with activity. Oxygen, delivered by the bloodstream, is one of the most crucial resources. As oxygen diffuses from the capillaries into the cells, it's greeted by a complex world. Oxygen plays a pivotal role in cellular respiration within tiny organelles called mitochondria. Mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses, use oxygen to convert glucose into energy. Section 6. Powering the microscopic world. Cellular respiration begins. Cellular respiration is a multi-step process, a carefully choreographed dance of molecules designed to extract energy from glucose. This process occurs in two main stages: glycolysis, which takes place in the cytoplasm, the jelly-like substance within the cell, and oxidative phosphorylation, which occurs within the mitochondria. Glycolysis, the first stage of cellular respiration, is like splitting wood before building a fire. It doesn't require oxygen and is the initial step in breaking down glucose, a 6-carbon sugar, into smaller molecules called pyruvate. This process releases a small amount of energy, but the real energy payoff comes later. These pyruvate molecules then enter the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, where they will be further processed to unlock the vast stores of energy contained within their chemical bonds. Section 7. The heart of the process. Unlocking energy in the cytoplasm. Inside the mitochondria, the pyruvate molecules, products of glycolysis, are prepared for the next stage of energy extraction. They are converted into a molecule called acetyl-CoA, which enters a cyclical series of reactions known as the Krebs cycle, also known as the citric acid cycle. The Krebs cycle is like a cellular merry-go-round, with molecules hopping on and off at various points. During this cycle, acetyl-CoA is broken down, releasing carbon dioxide as a waste product. Importantly, electrons are stripped away from the molecules involved, carried by special molecules called NADH and FAD2. These electron carriers, NADH and FAD2, are crucial for the next stage of cellular respiration, where the majority of ATP, the cell's primary energy currency, is generated. Think of them as shuttles, transporting precious cargo to be used in the final energy-producing stage. Section 8. The Krebs cycle, a cellular merry-go-round of energy. The Krebs cycle doesn't directly generate a large amount of ATP, the cell's energy currency. Instead, its primary role is to generate these high-energy electron carriers, NADH and FAD2. These molecules act as shuttles, ferrying electrons extracted from glucose to the electron transport chain, the final stage of cellular respiration. Imagine the electron transport chain as a series of waterfalls, with electrons cascading down from one level to the next. As electrons move down this chain, energy is released, and this energy is used to pump protons, or hydrogen ions, across a membrane, creating a proton gradient. Section 9. The electron transport chain, a waterfall of energy release. This proton gradient, established by the electron transport chain, is like a dam holding back a torrent of water. The potential energy stored in this gradient is harnessed by a remarkable enzyme called ATP synthase. As protons flow back across the membrane through ATP synthase, their movement drives the production of ATP, the cell's primary energy currency. Oxygen plays a critical role at the very end of the electron transport chain. It serves as the final electron acceptor, combining with electrons and protons to form water. Without oxygen, the electron transport chain would grind to a halt, preventing the efficient production of ATP. The electron transport chain is a marvel of biological engineering, a testament to the elegance and efficiency of cellular processes. It's here, in this final stage of cellular respiration, that the majority of ATP is generated, providing the energy that powers life's myriad activities. Section 10. Waste not, want not. The byproducts of respiration. Cellular respiration, while essential for life, doesn't come without byproducts. The most notable of these is carbon dioxide, a molecule that must be removed from the body. As glucose is broken down, carbon dioxide is generated at several stages, particularly during the Krebs cycle. This carbon dioxide diffuses out of the cells and into the bloodstream, where it's transported back to the lungs. As we exhale, carbon dioxide is expelled from the body, completing the respiratory cycle. This continuous exchange of gases, oxygen in and carbon dioxide out, is essential for maintaining the body's delicate equilibrium. Water, another byproduct of cellular respiration, is formed at the end of the electron transport chain when oxygen accepts electrons and protons. This metabolic water, while not as abundant as the water we drink, contributes to the body's overall water balance. Section 11. The Circle of Life, Respiration's Vital Role. Respiration, a process often taken for granted, is the very essence of life. It's the invisible engine that powers our every breath, every heartbeat, every thought. From the moment we're born to the moment we take our last breath, respiration is essential for our survival. This intricate process, involving the coordinated efforts of multiple organ systems, ensures a constant supply of oxygen to our cells, the building blocks of life. Oxygen, the vital ingredient, allows our cells to unlock the energy stored within the food we eat, fueling a myriad of biological processes. Respiration is a testament to the elegance and efficiency of biological systems. It's a process that unites all living organisms, from the smallest bacteria to the largest whales. We are all connected by this fundamental need for energy, a need fulfilled by the remarkable process of respiration.